Hi, my name is Frederick. I am part of a crew, an unknown crew. We actually call ourselves the Unknown. Um, we have been traveling towards what I actually thought was a fiction initially. I didn't really believe it was legitimate, and that's a black hole. Um, what I'm starting to realize, I think, now, and only just recently, is the fact that as I get closer to the black hole, I realize that the black hole, in many respects, I've already been in the black hole. Well, I haven't been in the black hole yet, but the consequences of me being in the black hole, as I'm sitting right outside it now, rippled back in my life. All the actions that, especially the last 10 or so years, all those actions have been a consequence of the fact that I will, very shortly, be inside of the black hole. So that therefore led to a series of uncanny events that met me on my sojourn here. As I get closer, my heart broke. Most of me has broken in many respects. It's a breakdown. But I notice at the same time that the feedback loops of my actions have become far greater and more profound. The distinction between myself and other has almost entirely broken down. Other than my mind, my brain is still, for better, well, it is still fairly autonomous. Fairly. But even the light of my heart has been shattered. Kind of stillness arises a little bit from it, but there's a deep sense of going into the very nature of the fears that I have because of the consequences of every particular action, both that I've taken and that what I will take, and the ripple effect getting ever more profound with the fact that this is, as a black hole, essentially what I'm learning is kind of the power of the universe. A sun contracted, exploded into itself to make for the most powerful potential force, as far as I know, in the universe. So going into it, the consequences of the actions become that much more profound and rippling across the universe. On the other hand, I kind of recognize now, I think, in many respects, that this is a childish game. That this game of power is a game that, even though it might have some existential benefits in the immediate term for our planet, maybe other planets, through reworking, fixing things, I don't know how that temporal process undergoes itself through that manipulation of time, better and worse, and I don't know what it is, whatever it is. There's a sense where if I only had loved profoundly through my life and focused on that landscape of loving the other for themselves, in a self-giving way, not in a eat the fish kind of way, in the sense that you might love fish so you eat the fish. Rather, it's a giving oneself over to the other so that their life is lifted up. If I had done that, if we had done that more, this journey of solitude in some respect, odd and awkward as it's been, would probably not be needed, because there would be an emanative love that goes beyond any kind of journey to manipulate things for even the benefit of others. So I guess for a note for the future is that, I hope you don't have to take this journey into the heart of fear, but maybe that's just the requisite nature of existence. Maybe that is the way it is. I think people that have done a lot of contemplative prayer or deep meditation have a better idea of what I'm kind of getting at, where there's this sense in which the distinction between oneself and other breaks down and dissolves in a deep meditation. I'm not even a good meditator, so I don't really know this, but I've heard people say this. So that the inside and outside break, and there's kind of this dissolution of self and other in a profound respect. So I still don't think that is, true love in its highest form, because I think that there is something like childish love, where you just, when you're a child and you have this open-eyed embrace of those around you, that's even more powerful than this. And it's a sad thing to say, this is kind of a 5 years old game, but at the same time, even this immediate world might need a little fixing at times. And so going into that 5-year-old game, into the heart of the power of the universe, to help balance or stabilize things a little bit, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. Is it worth it on the soul that does it? It's an open question. I don't have an answer for that. But just to explain to you the nature of what that sojourn is, if you do go into it, that is, roughly speaking, the broad strokes of it. Frederick out.